know what nobody talks about? The woman who spends $300 on a designer blouse and somehow still looks like she's trying too hard, while someone else walks by in a $40 top from a chain store looking like she just left a lunch in Paris. It's not the money. It's never been the money. What makes a top look expensive has almost nothing to do with what you paid for it, and everything to do with 10 very specific things most women get wrong without even realizing it. And here's what makes this complicated. Some of these mistakes are things you were taught to do, things that worked beautifully 20 years ago, things you keep doing because you think they're making you look polished when they're actually working against you. So let's go through them, one at a time, what the mistake is, why it cheapens your look, and exactly how to fix it. Mistake number 1. Wearing tops that are too tight or too loose. This is where most women lose the expensive look before they even leave the house. And it's not that you don't know fit matters, it's that the fit standards you're using are probably outdated or were never explained properly in the first place. When a blouse is too tight, it pulls across the bust, creates gaps between buttons, and shows every line underneath. When it's too loose, it adds visual bulk and makes you look shapeless, like you're swimming in fabric. Both read as cheap, even if the blouse cost a fortune. What you're looking for is a top that skims. It should follow the line of your body without clinging to it. Stand sideways in front of a full-length mirror and look at the line from your shoulder to your hip. It should be smooth. No pulling, no bunching, no fabric billowing out and then getting trapped under your arm. The shoulder seam should sit right where your shoulder ends, not halfway down your arm, not pulling toward your neck. The armhole should be high enough that it doesn't gape when you move, but not so tight that it restricts you. And if you're wearing a button front blouse, there should be no tension across the bust when the buttons are closed. If you find something you love but the fit isn't quite right, take it to a tailor. A $10 adjustment can make a $40 blouse look like it was made for you. And that's what expensive looks like. Custom fit, not designer label. Mistake number 2, choosing fabrics that look cheap. This one matters more than almost anything else, and it's the easiest mistake to make because cheap fabrics are everywhere now. Shiny polyester, thin jersey that shows every texture underneath, fabric that pills after one wash or creates static cling. You can spot cheap fabric from across a room. It doesn't move right. It either clings in the wrong places or sticks out stiffly where it should drape. It reflects light in a way that looks artificial, and no matter how well it fits, it will always look inexpensive because the fabric itself is giving you away. What you want are natural fibers or high-quality blends. Cotton with a substantial weight. Not the thin, see-through kind, but cotton that feels solid in your hand. Silk in a weight that drapes beautifully without being transparent. Linen that softens with age. Merino wool for knit tops. Ponte knit that holds its shape. Here's the test. Hold the fabric in your hand before you buy it. Does it have weight? Does it feel like something? Or does it feel like nothing? Quality fabric has presence. It doesn't collapse when you touch it. And when you're shopping, turn the blouse inside out. Look at the seams. Are they finished? Or are they raw edges that will fray? Check the hem. Is it even and narrow, or is it thick and sloppy? These details tell you everything about whether a piece will look expensive when you wear it. Mistake number 3. Wearing overly busy flowery blouses. There's a point where pattern goes from interesting to overwhelming, and it happens faster than you think. When a blouse has too many colors, too many flowers, too much visual noise, it doesn't matter how expensive it was. It's going to cheapen your whole look. Busy patterns do something else too. They compete with you. Instead of people noticing your face, your posture, your presence, they're trying to process everything happening on your shirt. And the busier the pattern, the older it tends to read, especially if it's a dated floral print. What works better are small-scale prints on simple backgrounds, a delicate floral on cream, subtle stripes, a refined geometric pattern that adds interest without taking over, or just a solid colour in a beautiful fabric, which almost always looks more expensive than any print. If you love pattern, choose one element in your outfit to carry it and keep everything else quiet. Let the print be the detail, not the whole statement. If you're finding this helpful, I'd love to have you here every week. Subscribe so we can keep building a wardrobe that works for exactly who you are right now. No guessing, no wasting money on things that don't serve you, just real advice that makes getting dressed easier and more enjoyable. Mistake number 4, ignoring what's happening underneath. Nobody wants to talk about this one, but your undergarments can destroy even the most beautiful blouse. Visible bra lines, straps that dig in and create bulges, a band that's too tight, the wrong size creating lumps and bumps under smooth fabric. Here's the truth. Most women are wearing the wrong bra size. Bodies change, especially after 60. What fit you 5 years ago probably doesn't fit you now. And when your bra doesn't fit, everything you put on top of it looks wrong. Get professionally fitted. Go to a store where someone actually knows what they're doing and let them measure you properly. You might be surprised. Most women go up in band size and down in cup size as they age, or they need a completely different style than they've been wearing. Once you have the right size, invest in a few key styles. A seamless t-shirt bra for fitted tops. A minimizer if you want a sleeker line under structured blouses. Nude colours that disappear under your clothes instead of creating contrast lines. And if you're wearing a lightweight or fitted blouse, check the back view before you leave the house. Most women only look at the front. The back will tell you if something's not working underneath. This isn't about vanity. It's about making sure the beautiful blouse you chose gets to do what it's supposed to do, make you look polished and pulled together. Mistake number 5, choosing necklines that work against you. Necklines do more to age or flatter a face than almost any other detail, and most women are choosing them based on old rules that no longer apply. Crew necks and high necklines can be aging if they're hitting at the wrong place. They tend to shorten the neck, draw the eye down instead of up, and create a closed-off look around the face. That doesn't mean you can never wear them. It means you need to be intentional about when and how. V-necks, scoop necks, and soft open collars are almost always more flattering after 60. They create length. They draw the eye up toward your face instead of stopping it at your collarbone. They give you room to add a delicate necklace that adds another element of polish. This isn't about showing skin. It's about creating lines that enhance your face and neck rather than cutting them off. A subtle V-neck under a blazer, a soft scoop neck with a simple pendant, an open collar that frames your face instead of crowding it. Try this. Put on a crew neck and take a photo. Then put on a V-neck and take another photo. Look at both. See where your eye goes first. See which one makes your face look brighter, your neck look longer, your whole presence look more open. That's the neckline you want to choose more often. Mistake number 6. Wearing colours that wash you out. This is the one that sneaks up on you because the colours that made you glow in your 30s might be draining the life from your face now. As hair goes grey or white, as skin tone shifts, the colours that work for you change. And if you're still reaching for the same shades you've always worn, you might be aging yourself without realising it. Stark white can be harsh against silver hair and mature skin. Pure black right at the face can be draining. Colours that are too pale might blend into your skin instead of complementing it. Colours that are too bright might overwhelm instead of enhance. What you're looking for are colours that bring light to your face. Hold different tops up to your face in natural light and watch what happens. The right color will make your skin look clearer, your eyes brighter, your whole face more alive. The wrong color will make you look tired, washed out, or sallow. If your hair has gone silver or white, jewel tones often work beautifully. Sapphire, emerald, amethyst. Soft pastels with a bit of grey in them. Rich neutrals like charcoal or warm taupe instead of harsh black or stark white. If you still have warm tones in your hair, lean into warm colors: coral, peach, terracotta, golden yellows. If your hair is cool-toned, choose cool colors: periwinkle, soft lavender, dusty rose. And here's the thing, you don't have to get rid of colors you love. You just might need to wear them differently. If black is too harsh at your face, wear it on the bottom and choose a softer color on top. If you love white, try cream or ivory instead. Mistake number 7. Holding on to styles from decades ago. This is the one that ages you more than anything else, and it's the hardest one to see because these pieces are familiar, comfortable, they feel like you. But here's what's happening. Fashion evolves. Not trends, but proportions, silhouettes, the way things are cut and constructed. A blouse from 1995 has different shoulder shaping, a different sleeve length, a different hem length than a blouse from 2024. And when you're wearing the older version, it doesn't read as classic. It reads as dated. Shoulder pads that are too structured, ruffles with too much volume, boxy shapes from the 90s, overly embellished collars. These details are all quietly announcing the decade they came from, and that makes you look stuck in that decade too. Classic doesn't mean old. A crisp white shirt is always classic, but the cut should be current. A silk blouse is always elegant, but the shape should reflect modern proportions. Go through your closet and look at your blouses with fresh eyes. Not whether you like them, but whether they look current. If you're not sure, take a photo of yourself wearing it and compare it to what you see in store windows or on women whose style you admire. You'll see the difference. And here's the good news. You don't have to replace everything. You just need to update a few key pieces. Swap that outdated blazer for a streamlined modern version. Replace the ruffled blouse with something simpler and more refined. Same colors, same quality, just updated lines. Which of these mistakes has surprised you most so far? Have you been holding on to pieces because they feel safe? Or wearing colors that used to work but maybe don't anymore? I'd love to know where you are with this. Mistake number 8. Not having one perfect white shirt. Every expensive-looking wardrobe has this, and most women either don't have one at all, or they have one that's not quite right. Too casual, too transparent, wrong fit, wrong fabric. The perfect white shirt is your secret weapon. It works with everything. It elevates jeans. It looks polished under a blazer. It pairs beautifully with trousers or a skirt. But it has to be the right white shirt. What makes it right? Fabric that has weight, substantial enough that it's not see-through, but not so heavy it looks masculine. A collar that holds its shape. Buttons that look intentional, ideally mother of pearl or quality resin, not cheap plastic. Tailoring that creates a clean line without being too tight or too loose. The fit should be just slightly relaxed through the body. You should be able to tuck it in smoothly or wear it untucked, depending on the look you want. The hem should hit at a place that's flattering, usually right around the hip bone, not too high, not too low. And the white itself matters. Bright optical white can be too stark. A softer white, or cream, is often more flattering, especially with silver hair. Once you find your perfect white shirt, everything gets easier. You reach for it constantly because you know it works. It becomes the foundation dozens of outfits are built on. Mistake number 9. Not defining your waistline. This one simple styling choice makes the difference between looking polished and looking shapeless, and so many women skip it because they think loose and flowing hides more. But here's what actually happens. When you hide your waistline completely, you add visual bulk. You create a silhouette that reads as larger and less intentional. Even the most expensive blouse looks cheap when it's just hanging straight down with no shape. Defining your waistline doesn't mean squeezing into something tight. It means showing where your waist naturally falls. Tuck your blouse into well-fitted trousers and add a simple belt. Do a half tuck on one side. Try a French tuck where just the front is tucked in. This creates structure. It shows that you made a choice, that this look is intentional, not accidental, and it creates the suggestion of an hourglass shape, which is universally flattering. The best part? This costs nothing. You're using the same blouse you already own, just styling it differently. But the difference in how polished you look is remarkable. If this is resonating with you, if you're realizing there are small changes that could make a big difference, subscribe so you're here for every video. This is what we do. We figure out what actually works and why, so you're not guessing anymore. Mistake number 10, not dressing for your body as it is right now. This is the one that changed everything for me, and it's the one I see women struggle with most. Trying to dress for the body they used to have, or the body they wish they had, instead of the body they have right now. Your proportions have changed. That's not good or bad. It's just true. Your shoulders might be narrower or broader. Your torso might be longer or shorter relative to your legs. Your bust might sit differently. Your waist might be less defined or more defined than it was. And the blouses that worked beautifully on your younger body might not work the same way now. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because the proportions have shifted. So the question isn't, what should I wear? The question is, what flatters the body I have today? If your shoulders are narrower now, choose tops with some structure or detail at the shoulder to create balance. If your torso has lengthened, pay attention to where hems hit and adjust accordingly. If your bust has changed, make sure your tops accommodate that without pulling or gaping. Work with a tailor if you need to. Learn a few basic alterations if you're comfortable with that. A simple button move, a small hem adjustment, taking in a side seam. These tiny changes can transform a blouse from almost right to perfect. This isn't about hiding or fixing. This is about honoring who you are now and choosing pieces that celebrate that. When you do, you radiate something no amount of money can buy. Confidence in exactly who you are. Here's what all of this comes down to. Looking expensive has nothing to do with what you spend. It's about understanding fit, choosing quality fabrics, wearing colors that bring you to life, and styling with intention. It's about letting go of what used to work and embracing what works now. When you avoid these 10 mistakes, every top you put on does exactly what it's supposed to do. Makes you look polished, pulled together, and effortlessly elegant. Not because you spent a fortune, but because you made smart choices. Style isn't something you buy. It's something you understand. Thank you for being here. If this helped you see your wardrobe differently, would you share it with someone who might need to hear it too? And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. I'm here every week with more of this, and I'd love to have you along. Until next time, remember, you don't need a bigger budget. You just need to know what works.